beauties, welcome to my channel once again. In this video I'm going to show you how to make 4 different coasters from a flat circle. So I'm just going to get right into it. If you're new here, my name is Tsungie and I do crochet. Please do subscribe and turn on your notification bell. So to start, I'm going to do a magic ring. So I'm going to leave some yarn. I leave just a little bit so that it's easy when I tack in my ends. Okay, so I'm going to take my yarn, wrap it to form an X, and wrap it so that the other side there's 2 parallel lines, and I'm just going to hold those 2. I'll flip my hand like this, put my hook under the first yarn and grab the one in front here, then move it to the back. Then I'm going to twist. Right, after twisting, I'm going to grab this yarn here and I'm going to make a chain. Sorry, I kind of like twist my hand a little bit and I make a chain like this, then I release everything. If this was too fast for you, please check my magic ring video where I showed you 6 different ways of doing a magic ring. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2. So this chain is going to be my first double crochet and I want 15. So I'm going to do 14 more, yarn over. I'll put my yarn on my hook, insert my hook inside the circle, grab some yarn and come up with it so that I have 3 loops. Grab some yarn, pass it to the first 2 loops, grab some yarn, pass it to the second 2 loops, and that is a double crochet. I'll do it one more time. Yarn over or put yarn on my hook, insert my hook inside the circle, grab some yarn and come up with it. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Grab some yarn and pass to the first 2 loops, grab some yarn again and pass to the second 2 loops, and that is a double crochet. So if I'm counting 1, 2, 3, I want 15, so I'm going to do 12 more off camera and I come back. Okay, so I've done my 15. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this yarn, I'm just going to pull to close that circle. Right, once I close it, I'll just put that yarn to the back. Right, so now I'm going to go where I started. So this is where I did the chain 3, and just on top here, this is the first stitch. So I'm going to insert my hook under that first stitch like this, grab some yarn and pass through with it so that I have 2 loops. Then I'm going to do a slip stitch, slip this one into this one like this. Right, then the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, then in the next stitches until the last, so I'm going to do 2 double crochets in each of the stitches except this one, except the last one. So in the next stitch, set my hook, I'm going to do, yarn over, set my hook into that stitch, grab some yarn, 3 loops, a double crochet like that, 1. I'm going to do another one in the same spot, 2. Right, so in the next stitch also I'm going to be doing what? 2 double crochets. So 2 double crochets in each stitch until you get to the last stitch. So what we're doing, we're increasing the row with 15 stitches. So I'm going to do 2 double crochets in all of the stitches except the last one here. So let me quickly do that. Okay, so I'm now at my last stitch, this one. I'm going to do just 1. Yarn over, insert my hook into that stitch, grab some yarn and do a double crochet like this. Okay, so if you had to count, you're going to see that you have 30 double crochets. So I'm going, this is the chain that we did in the beginning, and this is the first stitch that's just on top of that chain. So I'm going to insert my hook in underneath that first chain, grab some yarn, pass it through so that I have 2 loops, then I'm going to slip stitch. So this one into this one like this. Then I'm going to chain and cut. then pull. Show you the first coaster you can do with a flat circle like this. So what you're going to do, you're going to go at the beginning, the first stitch here, insert my hook. I'm going to grab my yarn. I'm using a different color yarn, and I'm just going to make yarn pass through. Then I'm just going to tie a simple knot like this. After tying, I'm going to put my hook into that same stitch, right, and I'm going to chain to do that. I'm going to chain 4. So I'm going to grab some yarn and pass through, make the first chain. So I'm going to chain 4, 2, 3, 4. After chaining 4, I'm going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into the third stitch I'm going to do a single crochet like this. Then I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. I'm going to skip 2, 1, 2, and into the third stitch I'm going to do a single crochet. After that I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right. After that I'm going to skip 2 again, 1, 2, and into the third stitch do a single crochet and chain 4. So I'm going to do that until I get to this part. When you get to the end, you're going to see that you're left with 2 stitches. So you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now what you're going to do, going to the first stitch the way you started, set your hook in there. You're going to grab some yarn and come up with it so that you have 2 loops. So now what you're going to do, you're going to slip this loop into this loop like this, like this. After that you're going to do 5 single crochets into this loop, so insert your hook inside, grab some yarn, and so that you have 2 loops, grab some yarn and pass through that yarn over through those 2 loops like that. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, right. After you have the 5 single crochets, you're going to yarn over and you're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over like this, insert your hook into that middle stitch like that, grab some yarn and come up with it like that, so that you have 3 loops. You're going to grab your yarn and pass through your yarn through all of the 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that is a half double crochet. Now into the next loop we're going to work 5 single crochets. So insert your hook inside, grab some yarn, come up with it. 1, 2, 3, you can push it a little bit, 4, and 5. So when you finish the 5 single crochets, you're going to yarn over and you're going to do a half double crochet into this middle stitch here. Set your hook in the middle, grab some yarn and come up and out with it so that you have 3 loops. Grab your yarn and insert your hook through all of the 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be doing 5 double crochets and 1 half double crochet in the middle stitch. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to continue to do that until I get to my last loop. Okay, so when you get to the last loop and you've done your 5, okay, so now I'm at the last part, the last loop. I'm going to do 5 single crochets into that loop. Just going to put some of this yarn. 1, 2, let me do the 3. Because I've done the other 3, so I'm going to go into the, not the first, like kind of like the first stitch, like on top of this, like here. Insert my hook in there, grab some yarn, 2 loops, and I'm going to slip stitch. So this one into this one like this, At this point your thing is done. You can chain one and cut the second one. So the second one, I'm going to go into my first stitch where we stopped, going to grab some yarn, pass it through like this, and I'm going to do a simple knot just to attach my new yarn like this. After that, I am going to insert my hook inside that stitch, grab some yarn and come up with it and chain. So I'm going to do 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 into the 4th. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to do a double crochet into the 4th stitch like this, right? And I'm going to do another double crochet into the next stitch, which would be my second one from the bottom. I'm going to do another double crochet, right? Then I'm going to yarn over again and do another double crochet in that last stitch like that. After that, I'm going to chain 1, right? After chaining 1, I am going to skip 2. So 1, 2, and I'm going to go into the 3rd stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the 3rd stitch, this one, and I'm going to do a double crochet. Right, after doing the double crochet, I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So now you see this space here. I'm going to yarn over and I'll start working double crochets on this double crochet. So yarn over, set my hook underneath that double crochet, grab some yarn. So you're kind of doing like double crochet sideways. So 1, we're going to do 3, yarn over, going to do another one, 2, and we're going to do the 3rd one like this. After that, I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to skip 2. So 1, 2. Into the 3rd stitch, I'm going to do a double crochet. Do a double crochet. My yarn is getting tangled. Yarn over, set my hook into the 3rd stitch, grab some yarn. Should have 3 loops. Grab some yarn, pass to the first 2, grab some yarn, pass to the second 2, and that's a double crochet. After that, I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. After that, I'm going to work double crochets on this double crochet like sideways, so you can turn your, if it's easier for you, yarn over, insert my hook underneath that double crochet, grab some yarn, come up, and so that you have 3 loops, do a double crochet. We're going to do 2 more. You can pull it up, 2 more in the same space. That's number 2, and that's number 3, like this. I'm going to chain 1 more time, chain 1. I'm going to skip 2, 1, 2, and into the 3rd stitch I'm going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, insert my hook into that stitch, grab some yarn. I should have 3 loops. Grab some yarn, pass to the first 2 loops, grab some yarn, pass to the second 2 loops. Once I have the double crochet, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to be doing double crochets into this double crochet like sideways. So yarn over, insert my hook underneath that double crochet, grab some yarn, come up with it. I have 3 loops. Grab some yarn, pass to the first 2, grab some yarn, pass to the first 2, the last 2, that is. Right, I'm going to do 2 more double crochets and another one. As soon as I finish doing that, I chain 1. So we are chain 1, you skip 2, you do a double crochet, and after doing the double crochet you chain 3, then you work in that double crochet sideways, doing 3 double crochets, and you continue to do this. I'm going to do that all the way until I get to the last 2 spaces. Okay, so I'm left with I'm almost reaching this end, so I'm going to have just chained one. I'm going to skip to 1 2 into the 3rd stitch. I'm going to do a double crochet, then I chain 3 1 2 3. Then after that I'm going to do the 3 double crochets that I have been doing. 1 2 and the 3rd one, like that. So now you're going to see that you're left with 2 spaces. So now what I'm going to do, so our circle is almost complete. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go into the space that we started, and we're going to insert our hook, so into there. Then I'm going to grab some yarn, come up with it so that you have 2 loops, and I'm going to slip stitch, so this stitch into this loop into this, like this. At this point your thing is done. You can chain 1 and cut. After cutting, you pull. Right, so your thing will look like, your cup holder will look like this. Right, I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to show you the 3rd idea you can do with a flat circle like this. So I'm going to just attach my yarn the same way I was doing, simple knot into the 1st stitch. After that I'm going to chain 6, so 1 2 3 4 5 6. So after chaining those 6, I'm going to do a double crochet into the same space, like this, so that I have a loop like this. After that I'm going to chain, hold on, after that you chain 3 1 2 3. So I'm going to skip 2 stitches, and into the 3rd stitch I'm going to do a double crochet. Right, after doing that double crochet I'm going to chain 3 1 2 3. Then I'm going to do another double crochet into the same space. And that's all that we're going to be doing. Chain 3 1 2 3. Then you're going to skip 2 1 2. Into the 3rd stitch you're going to do a double crochet, after doing that double crochet you chain 3 2 3. Then after chaining those 3 you're going to do another double crochet into the same space. So you're creating this lovely border. Okay, so I'm going to chain 3 1 2 3. You're going to skip 2 again into the 3rd stitch. After skipping 2 you're going to do a double crochet, like that. After that double crochet you chain 3 1 2 3. Then you're going to do another double crochet in the same space, like that, like that. So that's what we'll be doing. So I'm going to do that all the way until I'm left with the last spaces. Then I come back. Okay, so I've changed 3. You're going to notice that you're left with 4 stitches. You're going to skip 2 into the third stitch you're going to do your double crochet. After that, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you do another double crochet into the same stitch, like this. Okay, so after doing that, you're going to be left with one stitch. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to join these two. We're going to insert our hook into the first loop, grab some yarn so that you have 2 loops. You're going to slip stitch, so slip this one into this one, like this. Oh, like this, yes. Then you're going to just chain 1. I've already cut my yarn. Right, so your thing should look like this. Should looks like this. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to what you call it, to tuck this excess yarn inside the blue, and at the back I'm going to use my needle to sew. That's what I will do for all of them. I'm not going to show you that because the video is now very long. Okay, so for the fourth coaster, we're doing exactly as we did the blue one. So I slip stitch. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to do 5 double crochets into this loop. So insert my hook inside that loop, 3 loops, and I'll do a double crochet 1. So that's the first double crochet. I'm just going to move it. I'm going to do, this is number 2 double crochet, number 3 double crochet, number 4 double crochet, and number 5, like this. After that, into the next loop, this one, I'm going to do a single crochet. Then into the loop that has the V, I'm going to do 5 double crochets. So I'll be doing 5 double crochets, single crochet, 5 double crochet, single crochet. So that's all that I'm going to be doing in this row or for this coaster. It's an upgrade from the previous one. So let me just do the 5. Let me do off camera and come back. Okay, so I've done the 5. So in the next loop, this one, I'm going to do a single crochet. So I'm going to be doing a series of 5 double crochets in the loop where you've got the V. You're going to do 5, and here you're going to do single crochet. So I'm going to do all the way around, and I come back. Okay, so when you get to the end, you're going to be left with 1 loop, and you're going to simply do a single crochet into that 1 loop. After that, you chain 1 and cut, then pull. You're done. So this is how your coaster will look like. Like I said, I'm not going to show you how. You simply tuck with a hook that's smaller, and at the back you just sew it in with a needle. So I'm going to quickly so that's the end of this tutorial. I'll show you the end products. Okay, so this is how it looks when it's fully tucked. Then there's the green one, then there's the blue, you can just like pull them a little just to make the shape to come out more, like that. Then there's the yellow one here. Yeah, so that's it from me. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, bye bye.